really panicked when I heard of the accident. My husband tried to calm me down, but I was still scared because it was so unlike her.
Haven't had opportunity to live with someone like my wife. I actually say to the glory of God that she was a real helper.
Indeed, we missed you and will continue to miss you, sister. If you can hear us from above, we won't say we love you so much.
A young woman dies together with her 2-year-old son in a tragic road accident. Today, on February 17, 2018, Priscilla and her son Jaden are being buried. Family and friends are here to pay their last respects to a woman who has been described as intelligent, warm, and a unifier.
How can we ever forget all the times you made us smile? Someday we will meet you again, Papa T. Sister, farewell. Papa, farewell. May the good Lord keep you in his bosom.
Priscilla Affle was only 33 years old. It was supposed to have been a short working visit to Kumasi. Sadly, when she was returning to Accra, her life was snuffed out before she could reach her destination. Now, 2 beautiful twin girls have lost their mother.
I remember during our last video call, I could sense a lot of life and bright future in you.
A heartbroken man has lost his beloved wife, and parents have had to endure the disheartening task of burying their child. Priscilla's mother, Joyce Edusei Dapa, didn't see this coming.
Priscilla was a cheerful person, someone who brought the family together. She would always mobilize her siblings to resolve issues that came up, and she shared her plans with me. In fact, she would often call and ask what I wanted for my birthday. Then she would plan with her siblings and give me a pleasant surprise. Priscilla was always ready to offer support to anyone who needed it. She always had a smile on her face, and she promised to do something wonderful for me. It never occurred to me that I would lose her this way.
A painful situation for a mother to bear, caused by an avoidable road crash. This is just one of the thousands of families in Ghana thrown into a state of mourning due to thousands of road accidents that occur yearly. While on a working trip to Kumasi, Priscilla decided to visit her parents who live in the city. The mother was excited to see her second child and her grandson. They had a lot to discuss.
Meeting Sunday now starting the Monday.
She informed us that she would be in Kumasi on Sunday to attend a work-related meeting. She spent the night here after the 3-day workshop. Before she left the following morning, we had a lengthy conversation where I shared with her some challenges I was facing. She made a lot of promises to me that day.
Na oshishe Bobby Bray that day noa oshishe Bobby Bray.
Priscilla wouldn't be able to fulfill the promises she made to her mom. On the afternoon of January 25, a cargo truck hit the side of an Accra-bound bus operated by transport service company VIP. The deadly crash occurred near Tichamante on the Accra-Kumasi Highway in the eastern region. 10 people reportedly died on the spot. Priscilla and her son were said to be among those who died instantly. More than 20 people sustained serious injuries. Back in Kumasi, Priscilla's family was worried because they hadn't heard from her. It was unusual of her not to inform her folks that she was back home safely.
About 5 and I will do no afraid. Mamma drew so the radiasi. It is about 5 and I could me free. And shall say, me free, not the phone, a doom.
She'll always call and inform us she had reached her destination safely. I started calling her at 5 p.m. when I wasn't hearing from her. I couldn't reach her after several attempts, so I quickly informed my husband that I'm unable to reach her. He said it was probably because of traffic in Accra and that we would hear from her soon. We were in church when my 5th child, who lives with her in Accra, called around 7 p.m. to inform us that Priscilla has still not arrived home. After the service at 9 p.m., I told my husband I still could not reach Priscilla.
I'm saying, sir, if you are now, Accra more and traffic war, to be a nunti, I know say, ma, 7:30, I up on I'm so beba. It is about 9, I upon sorry, no. And I'm catching, you can say. That's still a fra, sister, me fra won't fall. You know, fra.
We went to the VIP and inquired. So our daughter came to board the bus, but up to now, we have not heard of her. So is there anything on the road? And they say yes, there was one of their buses has got accident. So about 10 people have died. So we could go to Nsamam to check.
No question, me woman kind, me hope papa.
I really panicked when I heard of the accident. My husband tried to calm me down and he assured me that she would be fine. But I was still scared because it was so unlike her. She would have called by now if she were all right. My husband and some church elders left for Nsawam at dawn to check on our daughter.
The mom waited impatiently at home, hoping to receive good news that her daughter and grandson had somehow survived the terrible accident, but that wasn't the case.
They got the confirmation that indeed Priscilla and her son had both died.
Very, very painful. Shocking and painful.
Far away in Australia, the terrible news reached Priscilla's husband, Festus Kobina Afo. They've been married for 8 years and have 3 children. 2-year-old Jedin Kobina Ejiri Afo, who died with her in the crash, and 7-year-old twin girls.
When I was told the first time in the afternoon, my countenance changed. But again, as I said, because I had not gotten the full details, I was praying and hoping for the best. But when finally news broke that they had passed on, initially I wanted to just restrain myself. I was alone in the living room and I was trying to just keep my composure. But as hard as I tried, I couldn't control myself. So I was at home with my cousin who was sleeping upstairs. So I had to go and knock on the door, and when she opened, she saw tears all over my cheeks. And so she wanted to know why I was crying. So I actually had to bring her downstairs and just show her a news item actually I had chanced upon on my JoyOnline.com. And an accident that happened, and later when I followed up with a call, I had gotten the confirmation that be among those who had passed on. It's so difficult trying to actually come to terms because people that you have spoken with less than 24 hours, you only hear that they are no more. And you know, it's very difficult. For the little boy, he was yet to be 2 years, but I remember the last few moments that I spoke with him. I actually saw a sense of life in that little boy, a sense of bright future in him. But ultimately, God, who knows everything, did not allow him to live to see all those wonderful things that I had seen in him. One of the things that sometimes I feel that maybe I should have delayed my travel, maybe to spend more time. If only I knew that I will not see them again so soon. Maybe I would have deferred my travel a little, then maybe how time with them, so that even as we mourn them, at least I would have had some level of comfort that I actually spent some time with them.
Road accidents claim thousands of lives every year. The story is not different this year. We are just halfway through the year and already about 1,008 people have been killed and 5,630 others have been injured in 5,573 accident cases reported between January and May 2018. That's according to provisional figures from the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service. The number of people killed within the first 5 months of this year has increased by more than 10% from the same period in 2017. 397 more people have been injured this year as the number of cases reported rose by more than 8% compared to the same period last year. Let's remind ourselves of some of the deadliest crashes we've seen so far this year. One of the first fatal road accidents reported occurred on January 19 at Yipala village near Yape on the Tamale-Kumasi highway in the northern region. According to police, 9 people died instantly and 21 others were injured when 2 buses collided at 10:30 p.m. On the 30th of January, 3 family members were killed when a Toyota minibus they were traveling in was crashed by an Accra-bound VVIP bus at Okanta No. 1 near Insawam on the Accra-Kumasi highway. While trying to overtake another vehicle, the VVIP bus reportedly crashed into the driver's side of the Toyota. Several passengers on the bigger bus sustained injuries.
I've been hustling in the morning.
Dancehall artist Ebony Reigns, born Priscilla Opoku Kwarteng, as you know already, is dead.
By February, at least 3 deadly crashes had claimed many lives. But what really got people talking about road accidents was the death of 20-year-old songstress Ebony Reigns on February 8. Ghanaians woke up to the shocking news of her death through a horrific crash which also killed 2 others at Mankraso in the Ashanti region. The jeep Ebony and her friends were riding in reportedly veered off its lane and collided with a VIP bus from the opposite direction. In what witnesses said resembled a scene from a Hollywood blockbuster, a Chrysler saloon car went up in flames after crashing into a Land Cruiser V8 at an intersection in Aveno on the Circle Achimota Road during the early hours of Saturday, February 17. It took several hours for emergency responders to put out the fire and rescue another passenger trapped in the Chrysler. The body of the Chrysler driver who crashed into the other vehicle was loaded into a black plastic bag and conveyed to the morgue.
Traffic no were amber. Enti V8 no afri say The traffic was displaying amber when the V8 turned towards Joy FM on the Fanofa Street. The Chrysler was coming from the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area. The driver of the V8 stopped inside the intersection when he noticed the fast approaching Chrysler. The Chrysler then crashed into the V8, somersaulted and hit a pole. The man on the ground fell from the Chrysler. We struggled to rescue a passenger in the Chrysler. We had to cut the seat belt to remove him from the burning car, and we conveyed him to the hospital in a taxi.
While returning from a trip to the northern region, I stumbled upon this accident which had occurred on April 12 at a toll booth in Tanoboase near Tiobodom in the Bono Ahafo region. Witnesses told me the brake of a truck failed, and while trying to avoid vehicles in its path that have queued to pay tolls, the truck driver veered into the opposite lane and crashed into another truck carrying charcoal. Before the crash, however, the truck ran over a lady who was trying to escape danger.
We were inside the toll booth when we heard someone shouting that we should run for our lives. The lady who died was also inside the toll booth. She was crushed by the trucks when she came out in her attempt to escape. Both drivers died.
On May 14, 12 people died in a fatal accident at Akwetiakrom in the Ashanti region, not far from the spot where singer Ebony had died in February. A Ford minibus reportedly veered off its lane and collided head-on with a cargo truck. The police said foggy weather had hampered visibility.
At around 1 a.m., they woke us to carry the dead bodies to the hospital. They were all dead. It wasn't an easy sight.
They don't even care of us. So it's my prayer this time around. The accident must kill the ministers and their family. It must kill the MPs with their family, DCs and the authorities, the highway, so that they will see that how painful is it. How come that a car like this will have accident and we lost at the spot? We lost almost 30 lives. Why? Why? Which country are we? A country with the age of 61 years, but still we are using a single lane. Why? Why? It's pity. They must change their attitude.
Luckily, some victims of road accidents survived to tell harrowing tales. Some would have to live with severe injuries and scars that will be a constant reminder of their close shave with death. At the trauma and orthopedic wards of the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi, you find survivors of road accidents with various limb injuries.
17 September 2017, we call Western Region in Kunya, and I'm
The accident occurred when I was returning from Nkunya on the 17th of September 2017. I was hit by another vehicle while alighting from the Sprinter bus at Santasi in Kumasi. I had one leg out when I was hit. I was trapped between the two vehicles. I broke my leg and was rushed to the emergency center. This is how my leg looks like now after 4 surgeries.
Emergency. Yeah, doctor father and I no, I didn't crash. The theater and Kwangu, they might come 4 times. And I said, they are my Accra.
Now,
a trailer crashed into the vehicle I was driving while on my way to Tema. My vehicle somersaulted and I ended up injuring my leg. It actually broke and my bones were exposed. I was rushed to the Dunkwa hospital and was only transferred to the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital when my condition worsened. The doctor who treated me then recommended that my leg be amputated up to the ankle, but my family refused. I was discharged and went back to driving, but the wound had apparently not properly healed.
Doctor,
20 years later, my leg has been amputated up to my thigh because it had deteriorated so bad that it couldn't be saved. I should have listened to the doctor 20 years ago at least. I would have been able to save most parts of my leg, and it would have been easier for me to find an alternative job.
On the average, 3 amputations are done here each week, according to Dr. Vincent Ativo, who heads the Trauma and Orthopedic Department at the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital.
Limb amputations takes about 10 to 15% of the surgeries we do. Some of the limbs are so crushed to the extent that they are not salvageable. What I mean by this is that you can't do anything to save that limb, to revive that limb to normalcy. And the best way out is to take off that limb and let the patient, rehabilitate the patient, and let the patient get some prosthesis to mobilize and earn some economic activity for himself and herself or the family. Taking into consideration the severity of injuries the accident victims are sustaining. If they don't die at the spot of the injuries or during the transportation, the late transportation before they get to the trauma site, then their limbs are going to die, and which means that will call for amputation. And from the ward in which I'm standing here, we have more than 3 patients who have serious injuries and that were probably delays in management, and some of them came, even though they came early, there was nothing we could do about them, and we have to amputate them. So on weekly basis, we do about 3 or 4 amputations.
Ajua Bupuka is missing a toe. She's receiving treatment after being knocked down while hawking on the street in Kumasi. She's been here at the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital for several weeks.
I was hawking water on the street at Santase Runabout. I heard people shouting, and before I realized, I had been knocked down by a car. That's all I can remember. I am told I lost my toe when I was being pulled from under the vehicle. The doctor says I need to have a surgery, else I wouldn't be able to use my legs.
Papa, I'm coming more. 33-year-old Yasewa is also nursing severe wounds at her back and around her stomach. The mother of 4 was trapped under a vehicle when a loaded tricycle she was traveling in collided with a minivan at Bonre Ebra in the Ashanti region. She had her 8-month-old baby with her when the accident occurred.
We were close to our destination when the accident occurred. I have no idea how it happened. My sister, with whom I was traveling, said the oncoming vehicle veered into our lane. My baby and I ended up under the vehicle after it crashed into our tricycle. My sister raised an alarm that I was missing. They searched under the vehicle and found my arm that was sticking out. Then they pushed the vehicle and rescued us. My baby's leg broke. They thought both of us had died. Apart from the wounds at my back, I broke some bones in my leg.
Both women feel lucky to be alive, but are worried about how their children are faring while they are on admission. Each woman has 4 children, all under age 10.
My baby is not allowed inside the ward because he may catch an infection, so I've had to stop breastfeeding.
I have no idea what my children are doing while I'm in the hospital.
I'm a farmer. That's how I'm able to support my family. What am I supposed to do now in this condition? How will I feed my children? I can only trust God to help me through these challenging times.
I have sleepless nights. I'm in so much pain and I can't turn. I'm always thinking about my condition and my children. Who will care for them? They are all alone. I am very worried.